HUD has a straightforward process for claims of violations of fair housing laws. Claims can be filed by anyone who experienced or witnessed the violation. Something to be aware of is that any findings against a licensee or brokerage are publicly listed on HUD's website. Let's take a look at the general process. During the initial phase, HUD determines whether a formal complaint can be filed. If so, HUD investigators will gather evidence through a number of methods, including research into an alleged violator's history to find any former incidents or patterns of discrimination. Investigators might also conduct testing to attempt to replicate the violation. This could take the form of an individual from a protected class attempting to work with a broker or brokerage in some way, perhaps as a buyer or seller, or as a prospective tenant. This is done in order to directly document the discriminatory behavior or violation. During the investigation, HUD will also attempt to bring the involved parties together for conciliation to resolve the issue. If the parties agree to terms, they'll sign an agreement, and the claim will then be monitored by HUD for compliance. Conciliation also allows the parties the option to keep the results private and saves both time and money. Following investigation, HUD will determine if a fair housing violation has occurred or not. If it appears the offending party has committed a crime or might in the near future, HUD can also file criminal charges against them. Cases are usually tried before a HUD administrative law judge, but any party to the case can ask that it be tried in a U.S. District Court instead. If a licensee or brokerage is found guilty, they can be forced to pay associated attorney and court costs. So how can we help ourselves? First and foremost, never retaliate or allow others to retaliate against the claimant, as it's considered further discrimination. Cooperate with investigators and provide any evidence requested. Failure to do so can result in fines up to $100,000. If you unintentionally commit a fair housing violation, do all you can to correct the issue. Stay open, respectful, and cooperative through the process. The more willing you are to work toward a solution with the injured party, the more likely you'll be able to solve the issue during conciliation and avoid court. Fair housing violations have serious negative impacts on victims and their communities, and they can have lasting negative consequences for licensees and brokerages as well. Always make sure you're operating in a legal and ethical manner when it comes to fair housing laws.